Today, we're diving into one of the most essential and honestly, most mind-bending texts in all of Mahayana Buddhism, the Heart Sūtra. It's a text so short you could fit it on a postcard, but it claims to hold the secrets to the ultimate nature of reality.
And that really is the big question, isn't it? How on earth can a few short lines do something so profound? That question is going to be our guide as we unpack the incredible layers of the Heart Sutra. So let's jump in.
The full name of the text is the Prajñāpāramitā Hridaya, which basically means the heart of the perfection of wisdom. And what we're looking at here is a very special version, translated by the monk Facheng. This was actually discovered in the Dunhuang Manuscripts, which makes it one of the oldest and most influential copies we have. It's a real treasure.
Now, what's so cool about the sutra is that it's not a lecture. It's not just some proclamation from on high. It's actually a dialogue, a conversation between two really significant figures that pulls us right into the middle of this huge question.
So who's in this conversation? Well, on one side, you've got Shariputra. He was one of the Buddha's sharpest, most brilliant disciples. And here, he's basically asking the question for all of us. And the one with the answer? That's Avalokiteśvara, the Bodhisattva of great compassion, who has already woken up to this profound truth and is about to share it.
And here's the question that kicks the whole thing off. Shariputra asks, if someone wants to practice this profound perfection of wisdom, how do they even start? How should they learn? It's such a practical, down-to-earth question. And the answer? Well, it's about to turn our whole reality upside down.
See, Avalokiteshvara's answer isn't some simple step-by-step guide. It's a deep, deep dive into the very fabric of existence, and it starts by completely taking apart the idea of a self.
And bam, here's the first huge revelation. Avalokiteshvara looks deeply into our being and sees that the 5 components we think of as ourself are fundamentally empty. So the million-dollar question is, what in the world does empty mean here?
The sutra explains this with a famous and beautiful paradox. First, it says, form is emptiness. What that means is that everything we see and touch, everything we think is solid, a table, a chair, our own bodies, it doesn't have any independent, permanent existence all on its own. It's not nearly as solid as it appears to be.
But then, it immediately flips it. Emptiness is form. This is so important. This emptiness isn't a void. It's not a black hole of nothing. It's the dynamic, vibrant, creative potential from which all forms arise. You can think of them as 2 sides of the same coin. You just can't have one without the other.
So what are these 5 aggregates that are supposed to be empty? Well, as you can see here, they're basically the complete recipe for what we call a person. You've got form, which is our physical body, feeling, our sensations, perception, how we label and recognize things, formations, our mental habits and impulses, and finally, consciousness, the awareness of it all. The sutra's wild claim is that this entire package deal, everything we call me, is fundamentally empty.
And the sutra doesn't just say this once and move on. Oh no. It performs what you could call a systematic deconstruction. It goes through every single category of our experience, one by one, and shows how it all dissolves into this fundamental reality of emptiness.
So if you really look at things through this lens of emptiness, what happens? Suddenly, there's no fixed form, no permanent feeling, no separate perception. The very building blocks of the self, as you can see, they just dissolve.
And the logic just keeps rolling. If the building blocks of the self are empty, then what about the tools we use to perceive the world? Our eyes, our ears, our nose? The sutra says, yep, they're empty too. And so are the things they perceive. Colors, sounds, smells, the entire sensory world gets pulled into this beautiful, interconnected web of emptiness.
Okay, and this is where things get really, really mind-bending. The sutra then turns this powerful lens on Buddhism itself. The Four Noble Truths? Empty. The entire path to enlightenment? Empty. Even the idea of wisdom and attainment? Empty. It's not that they aren't useful, they're essential tools, but they are not the final, solid destination.
All right, so after systematically taking apart everything we thought was real, it's totally fair to ask, okay, so what's the point? Is this just some kind of cosmic nihilism? And the sutra's answer is a definite no. The whole point of this deconstruction isn't despair, it's liberation, it's freedom.
And here is the huge psychological payoff. The sutra says when the mind has no hindrance, it has no fear. Think about it. When we stop seeing the world as a bunch of solid, separate, permanent things to either grab onto or run away from, the mind can finally relax. The fear just subsides because we're no longer clinging to illusion. So, this is what the path actually looks like. It all starts with relying on this profound wisdom. From there, the mind becomes unhindered, which leads to a state of fearlessness. From that place of fearlessness, we can finally overcome our distorted, deluded views and realize nirvana, the complete end of suffering. It's a clear chain reaction, from insight all the way to freedom.
And just to really hammer home how critical this is, the sutra makes an incredibly bold claim. This isn't just a path to enlightenment, it's the path. This is the exact same wisdom that every single Buddha, past, present, and future, uses to attain full awakening. This really is the heart of the matter.
So, how do you wrap up wisdom this vast? You condense it, and that's what the sutra does. It distills all of this profound insight into a single potent sound, a mantra. It's presented as the ultimate tool, something so powerful it can cut through all suffering.
And the sutra really doesn't hold back when it's hyping up this mantra. It's called the Great Bright Mantra, the Supreme Mantra, the Unequaled Mantra. It's built up as the ultimate, concentrated expression of this truth, something that can literally eradicate all suffering.
And here it is, the mantra itself. Gate, gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhi swaha. It's often translated as gone, gone, gone beyond, completely gone beyond, enlightenment, so be it. It's more than just a sentence. It's an incantation that captures the entire journey from suffering to total liberation.
And for the grand finale, the Buddha himself, who has been silently listening this whole time, finally speaks. He comes out of his meditation and offers the ultimate endorsement, confirming everything Avalokiteśvara has just said. Excellent. It is so. It is so. It's the final authoritative stamp of approval on this entire profound teaching.
So we end up right back where we started, with a question. The Heart Sutra takes a wrecking ball to our entire reality, but it doesn't give us a new, shiny one to replace it. Instead, it leaves us with this powerful inquiry to sit with. If everything we try to hold on to, ourself, the world, even our ideas about wisdom, is empty of solid existence, what does it truly mean to be free? That's a question worth meditating on.